Welcome to Lovely Esteem. I'm Lovely, the auntie you always wanted, the sister girlfriend you didn't know you needed, honey. You gotta have self-love to have self-esteem, and here we know that God don't make no junk. So we're gonna sit down, talk about it, and see how we can fix it, baby. Let's do it.
Hey guys, this is Lovely with Lovely Esteem, and today we're back talking about healing. One of the reasons why I am always emphasizing healing, the healing journey, is because we never fully heal from anything, right? Once something happens to you, it does affect you in either a positive or a negative way, and that is okay. But what I want us to really focus on is how to think about life from an offensive view versus a defensive view. If we're building healthy tools, even for our mental health, physical health, spiritual health, financial health, sexual health, if we're building these tools so that when something happens to us, we know how to better deal with them, better cope. We have more ideas that we can put inside of the hat to figure out which ways work best for us and which ways we just probably don't need. It may work better for someone else. And it also gives us the compassion that we need for ourselves to understand that we're beautiful spirits inside of these wonderfully squishy bodies. And we're trying to figure out what we need to do to keep these bodies healthy, these minds healthy, these spirits healthy as we move along. So I was looking up what a healing checklist would be, right? What it looks like to really walk in and step to reclaiming the power that is you, things that you can do that really help you figure out how to better align your healing with the journey that you're walking on. Or maybe you just need to add some things in or subtract some things. So, one of the first steps that we can think about is the emotional healing journey, right? When we allow ourselves to grieve the loss of either trust or the relationships that we thought we were going to have, it allows us to grieve the person we thought we were going to be, the career we thought we were going to have, right? Because we have these ideas of who we should be, what we should be doing. We have people who have told us this is the track for you. And sometimes when you're going through life, that doesn't always happen. But what can you do? How can you release some of this angst, some of this sadness? How can you learn from what you're going through? One of the steps that we can take would be journaling. Why do we need to journal our emotions? Because it really helps you get your emotions out on paper. It helps you to scream out loud in words. Sometimes you may want to vlog because you're like, I just do better when I can use my voice. I want to be loud, or I want to cry. You have all different kinds of ways to heal. Maybe you think to yourself, you're going to set a closure date. This right here is a banger. This is an old school word, but when we are thinking about things that we want to let go, ways that we want to revitalize ourselves, that we want to work on healing, closure dates. Hey, in 2 weeks, this is done. If I can't fix this, if it's not, we haven't found a resolution, if we aren't in a space of connectiveness, maybe I just need to let this go in order for me to open up more space for the blessings that are meant for me. But learning how to set dates so that you can commit to yourself that I am shifting from the painful ways that I am allowing myself to live to the healing journey of allowing myself to live in a more healthy way. And when I say healthy, I'm not talking about delusional, right? Sometimes healthy way means that you are learning how to go throughout your day thinking about that thing that bothers you 1 hour less a day. But if you keep adding minutes to that hour, eventually you're going to go through days and weeks, and then you may relapse, but then you learn how to crawl back out of those. The second thing I would say consider would be self-care and self-confidence rebuilding. My goodness, when we talk about self-care and confidence rebuilding, it can send people for a loop. because we don't always know how to take care of ourselves. We make the assumption that it has to be this really big project where we spend a lot of money and go to a lot of places and have a lot of people involved when it comes to self-care. When you flip to the confidence rebuilding, we always think it's an aesthetic that we need to have versus understanding it is literally a holistic way of seeing yourself as a person, a whole person. It means everything from the bottom soles of your feet all the way to the very tippy top of your head. And if you have hair, it extends to the very ends of those hairs, even if the ends are broken, darling. That's what we're working on. So things that we can kind of implement into our daily self-care routines, even if we just do it for 1 minute. Maybe we're doing it for 5 minutes. Maybe we give ourselves 15 minutes. You showing off if you got 30 minutes. I mean, tell me how you got that time without fighting other people for your days. But maybe do something that makes you feel beautiful, right? Maybe it's doing some mirror work, standing in the mirror, looking at yourself and finding those things about you that make you love yourself so much more. Like, I love my shoulders. My shoulders make me happy. It may make other people feel like, why your shoulders? I love my shoulders. I love the bridge of my lips. I feel like my parents did an amazing job of giving me such a wonderful bridge on these nice bubble lips that they gave me, and I am very proud of those. Maybe it's getting dressed up. Maybe it's putting on your sweatpants, a wonderful comfy shirt, throwing on your comfy sneaks, and going out and getting yourself your favorite meal. Like, right? With treating yourself like you would want somebody else to treat you. You have to do it first. Maybe you can move your body. You don't have to go to a studio in order to dance. Turn on your favorite song and shake your tail feathers, baby. I'm saying there are times where we just have to really move our bodies. Maybe turn on a YouTube video and dance with it. They have all kinds. You have praise dance, you have hip hop, you got twerking. If you real good and you have some kind of a skill set with the balance, I say try pole dancing. I'm not opposed to anything. Make it work for you. Maybe yoga is your thing and you have all of these different types of yoga. You have your sweat yoga, you have yoga that really helps you meditate. Maybe you're doing yoga in the dark. Maybe you have puppies coming to kiss you and love up on you. It could be the gym. Maybe simply just going for a walk, right? We are creating ways for us to understand ourselves. Sometimes it's sitting in the sun. Go sit in the sun. It makes such a big difference in how you see yourself. You can also have like a glow up plan. I think I'm going to do something with this and then offer it as like a little free downloadable. But a glow up plan, maybe personal growth, career growth, health, setting those dates where you're like, I'm going to accomplish A, B, and C. And it could be very simple. Maybe you say something like, I've been so sad for so long. I'm going to set a glow up plan where I start taking showers 3 times a week, right? I'm going to brush my hair once a week. I'm going to take showers 3 days a week. I'm going to try to go to bed 4 days a week at 10 o'clock. Just get in the bed. You may not fall asleep, but just getting in the bed. Maybe you're going to say every 2 weeks, I'm going to find a friend or find an event and I'm just going to go there. Even if I stay for 10 minutes, at least I got outside. Small glow up plan goals. Don't always think it has to be these erroneous, crazy, elaborate plans, because for most of us, just going out the house is it. It really is. We can also think about boundaries and emotional protection. I am so big on setting healthy boundaries for ourselves first, right? Once you establish boundaries for yourself, you will start feeling so empowered to make sure that those boundaries are held at a high regard, and you won't allow other people to kind of come in and violate those boundaries. But just remember, if you violate your boundaries, people are going to follow right behind you. So really holding yourself at the highest regard with regards to your boundaries and emotional protection. And we can establish clear boundaries with anybody who comes near us, that we say, hey, this is how I'm moving forward. I understand that we had this kind of relationship prior to. However, moving forward, these are the boundaries that I am setting for myself so that I feel like I am winning in my life. And I understand that it could be different and it may trigger you, but I need you to understand that this is how it's going to be for us to remain close, or for us to have or establish a relationship. We can like work on stop seeking closure from people who hurt us. Okay? Like sometimes closures come from shutting the door. Closure comes from deleting the phone number. Closure comes from saying no thank you. Closure comes from not automatically running when they call. And that can be such a hard thing to do. And also surrounding ourselves with supportive, uplifting people, finding safe spaces where people advocate for you and want to see you win, and people who are doing their best to make sure that you understand that you are worthy to be praised. And a lot of us don't understand that. And a lot of us haven't even experienced those type of relationships, but they are out there. And it can be one of the most invigorating things for your spirit. But maybe you are looking for ways to just reclaim your power, right? Ways to figure out what are your superpowers. Sometimes your superpower is that you make a banging cup of tea and you create a safe space for people to just come and sit down. Maybe you are a person you're an aggressive motivator, right? Maybe that's your thing. You're like, hey, listen to me. I don't care who told you no, but I see a yes in you right now. Or maybe you're like, hey, stop saying yeah. Stop saying you're going to show up because you don't want to show up. And it is okay to not always show up. Sometimes you need to save some of that space, that time, and that energy for yourself so that you can be the best version of yourself. Maybe it's setting new relationship standards, as we spoke about before, having non-negotiables. Okay. Listen, I understand that we are friendly, but in order to be my friend, I need you to understand these are some things that I can and can't do. These are things that trigger me. And if we're going to stay connected, I need you to understand that I will not be able to participate in A, B, or C. Just really understanding that having standards and setting boundaries doesn't mean that um, you are telling people that they can't be in your life, right? You're not saying that. You're not even saying that you don't want, well, we are saying we don't want certain things in our lives because let me tell you something. There's a couple of times that I wish I could have hit a boot button and gotten rid of so many people in my life. Maybe I shouldn't say that. Dearly beloved, we're gathered here to celebrate this thing called life. That's how I feel some days. I'm going to have to bow my head down and say a little affirmation and a little prayer to get myself together. Maybe you want to affirm your worth daily. Reprogram your mind with not just self-love, but with community love, right? Maybe you don't understand what self-love is. Maybe you are having a hard time really digesting the whole self-love conversation. But maybe you are very interested in having communal love. This is where you have supportive spaces where people allow you to be you, where people validate you, where people uplift you. These are sister circles. Maybe you have brotherhood circles. Maybe it's a situation where you allow yourself to join into a community that really has your interest at heart, maybe your hobbies, things like that. Just ways for you to stay connected with other people, but really affirm who you are as a person and helping you reprogram how you see yourself and like how you change your mindset. Maybe you want to take a bold step, right? You want to create a new version of yourself, or you have someone inside of you that you've never allowed to live out loud. How many of us are hiding a version of ourselves because we're so afraid that other people are going to judge it? They're not going to understand who you are. You've lived in this masked self for so long that you don't know how to let that person out, or you feel like they're going to think that I'm weird, or maybe we still stuck on some childhood hangups, some bullies who told us that we couldn't do something, parents who may have had not the greatest intentions towards us, or maybe they just didn't even know how to dream as big as you're dreaming, right? So, new hobbies. Maybe you want to go to therapy, you want to maybe get a coach, maybe a mentor. Maybe you're thinking about a new business idea. Maybe you're thinking about moving to a new state. Heck, you could be thinking about changing your hair color from brown to red, or maybe you're looking at lavender, which is so beautiful, by the way. Maybe you're thinking about getting a little rainbow in the back haircut. Maybe you're thinking, I'm going to shave this off. I just can't even do anything with that. But these are just small ways for you to live your life. Time is so finite, as one of my girlfriends says all the time. It will happen. Your time will end. And I want you to have one of the most fulfilling lives that you can. We're not searching for a eternal happiness. What we're searching for is moments of joy. We're finding moments of peace, moments of calm, moments where you feel connected to your spiritual self, where you are a person who has aligned your life with your passion, where you understand that your purpose will live out in you when you allow yourself to find joy and calm, when you allow yourself to grieve the loss of who you thought you were going to be, and you embrace the lessons that you've learned and turn those into triumphs, because we all deserve to do so. And I want us to remember that life can feel sometimes like a betrayal. It can feel like everything that you do, it just turns sour. But what lessons can we learn from that? How can we have a rebirth from that mindset? And a lot of that has to do with checking our boundaries, checking ourselves about how we feel compassion. What does self-worth and self-esteem mean to you? What does it mean to have positive, healthy communication skills with ourselves? What does your inner voice tell you? What does living your dream mean to you? How do you say and talk about the things that bring you joy, the things that feel passionate towards you? It makes such a difference. When you reclaim your time, you reclaim the worth, power, and joy that is that's inside of you. And you are already divine, darling. And I believe in you so much. So if you like this little podcast, follow us. We're building a beautiful community of delusional delulu positivity, right? We're going to talk about negativity and how it affects us, but really what we're doing is creating this safe space, this pocket of time when we get to be very real about the things that bother us and how we can help each other just soothe and feel connected. And you are a blessing to me and to everybody that you touch. Just remember that. Lovely out. Bye, guys.
Thank you so much for joining us. We hope you found some healing, connection, and joy. Until next time, bye, loves.